The Flames take a 1-0 series lead against the Dallas Stars after defeating the Stars 1-0 at the Saddledome in Game 1 alongside Aaron Ward and David Pagnotta. I'm Irfaan Gaffar with the fourth period. Our coverage here brought to you by BitBuy. Aaron, let's start with you. I know the Flames won the game, but how should the Stars feel after that one?
Honestly, I think Dallas should feel fine about this. They've gone on a long run. They've been trying to get into the playoffs. They managed to be a wild card team. We almost had a wait and see moment to see how they're going to show up. Were they going to be just like the Boston Bruins or the Nashville Predators and get rolled up on, or are they going to be the Washington Capitals? So they've been playing playoff hockey for a very long time. They show up in Calgary, knew one thing. They were going to get tested, the test of wills. We're going to show up in Calgary and have Sutter try and have his team run them out of the building, and that's exactly what we got. You think about what happened at the end of the first period. They showed face, they got involved, they showed up and they got involved in the fights. And after that, they did a really honorable job of turning their cheek and trying to play the game. You saw Kachuk over the course of the game trying to engage all kinds of guys. The difficulty for Dallas is you had a great goaltending performance, but the guys in front just didn't quite get it done. It was almost a series of self-inflicted errors. If you think about the opportunities, now you got the Calgary Flames who have the 10th best power play in the National Hockey League. Right behind them, Dallas Stars. Tons of penalties, tons of opportunities. Calgary scores their goal early in the first in the power play. Dallas gets their opportunities, but you see the guys who are supposed to dictate how this power play success occurs, honestly shoot themselves in the foot. Sutters, Seguins, giving away the puck, unforced errors. So there's a lot to clean up. But overall, how do you feel about going in against a top-rated team in the Western Conference and you just eat your way in the playoffs? You should feel good about game two.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's 7 games that this can go. It's not over in one. And Tyler Seguin mentioned this during the intermission with the CBC broadcast that they were very comfortable with this pace of play. They encouraged this. If Calgary wants to come at them, they're willing to play this type of game and go with it. They felt comfortable. And you're right, Wardo. I mean, look, yeah, they're down 1-0 in the series, but to come out of that game only down 1-0 in the game showed a lot from this team and showed that they can definitely keep up with the Calgary Flames. I think this is going to be a longer series based on game one if they can keep it up than a lot of people anticipated.
Yeah, I think Dallas understands the circumstance right now is that in the season they had 11 come from behind wins in the third period. They know who they're playing. It's almost like a calculated approach. They're not going to let Calgary wear them down, but they've got to play that chess match of understanding you don't want to open up too soon. And maybe where we're headed next is understanding how the goaltending is in the future part of this hit. It's that maybe the goaltending's giving them a chance to maybe open up a little bit.
Well, you just mentioned goaltending there. Jacob Markstrom with his second career playoff shutout, but the 23-year-old for the Dallas Stars, Jake Ottinger, Aaron, he looked really, really impressive in that.
Yeah, so as a player, when I'd enter a series, we'd always get these lists of the teams, right? You dissect the team, you go from forwards down to D, and the first thing I turn to is the value of the goaltending. So that was the same thing as an analyst. When I sat up on a panel, I always looked at a series from the beginning as to who had the advantage in net, because how a team felt confidence-wise in that series was dictated by how good their goaltending was. And I would give the check mark coming into the series to Markstrom clearly. But Ottinger served notice that on the road, he shows up, and there's some unbelievable scoring chances for the Calgary Flames. He stood in his head. So, as a Dallas Star right now, my level of comfort going to game two is quite different from my approach to game one. I know that the young guy behind me showed up in a pressure situation against a highly rated team and pretty much shut him down. It was a power play opportunity of a bang bang play on a face-off that went in. Other than that, spectacular plays, and he was just steady. He has instilled a level of confidence to this Dallas Stars team that maybe they can start opening up their game a little more. And that's what has to happen against the Calgary Flames. You're going to have to manufacture your opportunities. And it's going to come by playing outside your system a little bit more than normal. I'm sure Rick Bowness came in and said to these Dallas Star guys, like, hey, we're going to have to play really disciplined, smart style of play. Everybody's got to stick together and be cohesive. Maybe you can get away from that in game two and try and take a few more chances.
Yeah, they were helping out Ottinger as well. They had 14 block shots in this one. Calgary had 9, helping out Jacob Markstrom on the other end to a certain extent as well. But this was a team that was willing to throw the body around and throw the body around in front of the pucks as well to help out Ottinger throughout the course of this game. And that confidence, Wardo, like you talked about, that means a lot, especially over the course of a long series, and it certainly has the making for it based on this game. If you're doing those little extra elements, those little extra things throughout the course of the game to back your team and to help your goaltender, it's reciprocal. So he's doing well in net. You're going to help him out in front. He's going to do well. And ultimately, that's going to make you a better hockey player. That confidence is going to really spike up as the game progresses.
Remember one thing. Ottinger got them to the last minute. And in that last minute, if you think about Robertson had a really good opportunity off the back door. Pavelski centers the puck and it was just a deflection. It comes off the side. The chances were there. There were not a ton of them, but there were a few chances there for Dallas. Dallas just has to manufacture a few more.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for this. The Dallas Stars looking to climb their way back into the series as the Flames take Game 1, 1-0 at home in our coverage here on the fourth period, brought to you as always by BitBuy. Use referral code TFP to get up to $50 in free crypto while terms and conditions apply.